First of all, what are the questions? First question for me, second slide. Who are you? And why Allah has created all of us? It's not just a bedtime story that somebody like me coming to make happy and go and do nothing. It's responsibility. What is the role you are required to fulfill or to do? What are you going to do in your life? Sorry, sisters and brothers on the line as well. Today is a talk of emotion, a talk of glory to someone. It's a talk about us at this very difficult time, and let us understand, let us to think, who are we and what's our role? The third question is, how do you set a goal to achieve the role you want to play? Keep these questions for you today and any other day. The fourth question, what are the mechanisms for creating the goal of the four mechanisms we want to achieve, especially to the people, the people online, and the people here as well.
Yeah.
Question number 5, what is the lifespan? What's the length of our life? How long we are going to stay on this planet Earth? 50 years, 100 years, 70 years, 80 years, 20 years? We don't know. We did not choose our date of birth. We are not choosing our date of departure. It's written for us. So what are we going to do during our life?
The teach.
Number 6, how do we create the glory? Every one of us would like to become famous, would like to become legend, would like to become known. How can we do that? This question for the young people. Young people nowadays should not take it easy. Because when we started 40 years ago and more, we had nothing in our hands to do. But to find to do something, then we did everything. And what is the definition of glory for you young people? Number 7, what is my experience in life? What do I have to give others? That means, what do I have? Who I am? What do I have of experience? What did I learn in my life? Number 8, what are the key drivers for success? I think 10 key drivers for success of any one of us. The first one is, what did we learn? What should we learn? Who were our teachers? You have to ask us this question, young people. Don't think that the TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook will make you somebody, will make you nothing. I was just listening to an introduction or an interview with one of the novelists and thinker from Egypt called Tawfiq al-Hakim. Actually, he said this was actually nearly in the 60s, 6 years ago, talking about technology. And there was forecasting that technology will make human beings like robots. This was 60 years ago. Because the technology will let us stop thinking and will do everything for us. Nowadays, with AI, we are nothing. And we take the easy way. In talk to the academic, they differentiate between the student who uses the AI to write his thesis or her thesis and the student who does not use AI. Tawfiq al-Hakim, 6 years ago or more, he was forecasting this. what did we learn, and why we are learning. This is the first of our success. Second point is our belief. If we want to be successful, we have to have a belief in myself, believe in my community, believe in my objectives. That's what I want, message and all. My intention, my certainty. I have to be certain that I'm going to achieve this. Actually, then I take an action. Then after that, I depend on Allah. This is a process. Third point in the key driver for success is clarity of purpose. I have to be very clear, especially if I have a team, to show them where we're going, the vision of leadership, the leadership direction, very clear. I have to take initiatives. Number 4, if you want to be successful, you have to take initiatives. You might fail, you might succeed. Building foundation team. I cannot do it alone. When we started in the 80s, most of the team was secondary school students and university students. Maybe Professor Azmi and Professor Hassan, Dr. Hassan Said سيد شريف يعني الاشراف حاج well okay, in the 80s the main people who support the Islamic belief and built it the first 5 to 7 years were the secondary school students and the universities, particularly the overseas students in forces like Professor Azmich and Professor Said and Professor Ali Hassan as well. If you are a leader, you have to be motivating your team, not hammering them, cursing them, pushing them. No, motivating them, putting them on the spot. I remember once upon a time when we came here, 2003, my first visit to Malaysia was 1995. I came at the time of Chechnya looking for funding. And listen to this, because I did a fatal mistake to Islamic belief by overspending the money, we woke up one morning, have no money. What to do? I was not sacked. Alhamdulillah. Actually. But the plan was to go as far in the Far East to Malaysia to find new donors, as far west to Latin America, to Panama, Colombia, Brazil, and Venezuela, as far south to South Africa. These 3 spots were my journey in 1995 to find new donors. This was my first visit to Malaysia. And at that time, we were trying to correct my mistake by finding new avenue for us to raise fund, effort, direction, discovery of a new land as well. Do we have roadmap to draw and to follow? And do we put on our roadmaps what we call it milestones every time we review it, or just boom? And we depend on technology, and technology drives us right, left, or center. We have to keep drawing our roadmap. Can't just go without drawing. I remember an interview with Charles de Gaulle, the late president of France. Whenever somebody talk about a country, he will take the map, see what are the borders, the surrounding countries to this country, to understand the external politics, the internal politics, and the challenges. Don't go without drawing a roadmap for you and putting the milestones there. You have to be very open, diverse, and inclusive. Good to be in Malaysia because Malaysia is a truly Asia. That's right. Yes. Sorry, I forgot to say something when I came here in 2003 with the people. We met John here because we wanted to register Islamic beliefs, which was very difficult. We have to win his support at that time. At the time, I have with me my PA, which is the office manager, young man from Yemen, very sharp. He was UN OCHA now, one of the big directors there. And he was coming from Iraq. I sent him to Iraq at that time with somebody else. I was there for a month or two. And while we were sitting with Tom Mahathir, it was myself, Dr. Datto Jamila, and she's not Datto, she's more than Datto. Huh? Sorry, whatever it is. And somebody else. Well, I put Khalid on the spot. Khalid said, what? Speak. Very rarely sit down with Datto or Tom Mahathir and you speak because he's very eloquent speaker and very visionary. But he listened to Khalid for nearly 40 minutes. And he was tentatively listening to him because he wanted to know what is happening in Iraq at that time. Engage with the community. We can't succeed without community. Community empowerment. No matter who is the community. These communities are very wealthy and very rich and very resourceful. Understanding the societal changes. At any society, the process of change is going by the second, by the minute, and by the hour. These are some of the key drivers for success. So young people, you have 8 questions now. Today is not an eloquent speech to be delivered, emotional speech, or historical speech. It's about you should take the lead. If you want to take the lead, you have to answer these questions, the 8 questions. The second part of my talk will be about how can we create the glory. Before creating the glory, you have to become what you call it, life maker. Amen. You got it, sister? You got it, sister. All right? Let me read in Arabic because Arabic is more powerful. Understanding the concept of industry. Here is a challenge for all of us. We should deal with anything in our life in a very industrial way. How? I want to do humanitarian work. We start from the 0 point, which is the emotional reaction. If I believe that I want to change my emotional reaction into an industry, I will build the industry of making the emotional reaction an institution. If I want to manufacture something, I start with the workshop, with the foreman, the workshop. Then I go to the factories. Then I go to the companies. Then I go. If I want to talk about the aviation industry or transport industry, from the big thing, the big picture, I want you to look at any idea at the back of your mind as you are going to create an industry to make this idea, than just to do something haphazardly. And we need to see how can we build this industry to achieve what we want. Agriculture is an industry. Okay, when you look at making the bread from the wheat as a seed to the land, to the water, to the soil, to the technology, research studies, to the production of the wheat, to grinding or milling, to baking, It is an industry. From one seed, it's not just something the farmer is planting and he's selling it at the end of the season. The industry of making the bread and the cake is huge. The meat industry, the liquor industry. Keep thinking industrial way. Don't think in an action way. Yeah, people don't. Technology, as I said earlier on, could help us, but could destroy us as well. If I want to become a life maker, to be able to create this industry, I have to go to do about 10 points. First of all, seek knowledge and understanding the components and the changes of the life around me. The first verse in Quran came to the Prophet ﷺ was what? Iqra. Iqra was not read because Allah knew or know that Muhammad does not read and write. And Muhammad told Jibreel alayhi salam, I cannot read and write. But he repeated 3 times. Iqra at that time to the Muslims and to everybody, seek knowledge. Keep seeking knowledge. Keep seeking knowledge. This is the first step of being life maker to enable you to make the industry which can make the glory later on. Second, I have to discover my capability. Look at myself first. Can I do it? Yes, I can. Keep discovering it in yourself. Then keep discovering it in the team that is helping you. Keep discovering this capability in the society that you are trying to help. You have to look down and deep in every one of us. How is his capability? What they can do. No society, no individual, human being, born or created with capability. Each one of us are able, not capable, sorry, is able to do something. But each one of us has to keep looking deeply in himself. You know the difference between us and the Nobel Peace Prize winner? They don't sleep for years, but we sleep for years. They wake up all the time. They research. They fail. They try, succeed. They try and fail. They try. They keep trying. We don't try. We don't try to discover what we have. What we have is a lot. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the angels, وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. He taught Adam all the names of the subjects of life. It's in you, and the new, and the new, and the me. Unless and until I discover it, I will never be able to do what I should do. And this is different between advanced society, who are trying very hard, and non-advanced society. And another point is, never say at your life that you are poor or your country is poor. You know why? Because when Allah created this piece of land, and they put this group of people on this piece of land, He put under their feet the resources that they need to discover. Some of them become very lazy. Somebody else discovered it for them so they can occupy them, colonize them. Somebody else discovered it and became advanced. So the advanced people discover the resources and the societies. The underdeveloped people do not look at underneath their feet. This is the capability. We have to utilize learning. Utilization means learning from the experience of others. Every individual human being is resourceful. Even animals and birds learn from the bees how they created their, what they call it, hive or their kingdom. And the ants. You know the value of ants? Been mentioned in the Quran. What in them? They discovered the value of ants later on. We learn from the animals, from the birds, from the insects, from human beings, from everybody. Keep looking, observing, and learning and taking the experience of others. This is if we want to become life maker and we can make the industry of change. The process of learning is a never-ending story. Process of learning is a never-ending story. Don't stop learning. Don't stop listening to others. Don't stop. وفوق كل ذي علم عليم. Above any knowledgeable individual, another knowledgeable individual. And there is no end for knowledge seeking. Be persistent and continuous by trying and failing. Keep trying. I mentioned maybe yesterday or something. I never succeeded from the first time. Never in my life. And in my medical degree, when I was qualified from Cairo, from Azhar University in Cairo, I did fail under a few subjects, so I have to resit them again. But I was not a very good student. When I was trying to get married, some girls have refused my proposal. Not you. If I could have come here, very nice sister, yes. But actually, 4 times. But I tried because Allah gave me the best. When I did my doctor of medicine, I failed miserably. Then I passed again. When I did my driving license, I failed 5 times. When I did my license exam for getting a medical doctor and to be the license for becoming a doctor in UK, I failed 5 times. So I never succeeded from the first time. Don't ever think that a man is born with 4 heads or 6 heads or 8 heads and somebody else is not. No, it's not this way. It is trying. The normal thing is to keep trying and do not stop trying. Be persistent. Take risk. Sometimes we take calculated risk. Sometimes we do not take calculated risk. Sometimes the risk faces us and be imposed upon us. No matter what kind of risk we take or we face, we have to stand for it. Because life is not without risk. Life is never easy life for anybody and everybody. Empowerment. Empower young people. Empower young girls and boys, men and women, because they are the second generation, they are the third generation, and they are the generations to lead later on. And they gave this example yesterday. The first 6 CEO of Islamic Relief were actually homemade. I was the first one. The second one was a young man who came to Islamic Relief at the age of 29. Then he became the CEO in 2003, which was Harun Atab. The third one was he joined us at the age of 23, 24 as a data entry man. 2008, 2009, Salah Said was the CEO. The fourth one was an ex-Islamic leader from America. Came to UK. The fourth of Islam. The fifth one was another member of the team of 93 team, the golden team of Islamic leaders, was Nasr Haj Hamid. You remember him, Brother Azmi? The current one is a Pakistani who started in 2002 as an officer in Balochistan. So this team in your organization, you have to nurture them. The leaders, the senior leaders, have to keep nurturing them, guiding them, mentoring them, not just giving them a job. Our role as senior leaders is to take the young people by the hand and to prepare them for my position. And this is what Brother Wasim Ahmed told me when I met him in 2002 in Balochistan and said, "What do you want to become or to be?" He said, "I want to get your job." And he got my job after 20 years. That's true. If Wasim Ahmed comes here, brother, was Brother Shukra. So get somebody to make your job, please. Stand up, please, Brother Shuk. Brother Shuk, I want some of them people to get your job. Prepare them to get your job. Huh? Very. Or what party is the case? Whatever it is. But he has to prepare them. Amen. In the good old days, we used to do it ad hoc. Because the founder syndrome could be positive, could be destructive. The positive side of the founder syndrome that he keep nurturing at ad hoc because he has the emotion, he has the vision, he has the drive, he has all these sort of things. But nowadays, if you want me to do it again, I said, no way, it cannot be ad hoc. It has to be structured. It has to be institutionalized, not to ad hoc anymore. The last one is to protect the fundamental institution of any society. Let me say it, that's why I put it at the last point. First one, the family institution. The most important society, civil society in the country, the family, especially the mother. Mother is the cornerstone of every nation. Second institution is the mosque, or the place of worship. And the central point of it is the imam. Not an imam was not educated, did not know the culture of the society, did not know the religion, the languages, because in Malaysia, I've got too many languages. To invest in the imam and in the mosque, not to build a mosque, not to build walls and ceilings, to build people when they come to the mosque. And the imam is the central point. The third institution is the school. And this one of the success story of Malaysia is investing in education. Actually, 25% to 23%. This I heard it from Tom Mahathir when we met quite a few times in London. And said we invested 25 or 24% of our budget in education. Education, which is a school. The fourth one institution is the library. Do I have a reading space, even with the technology nowadays, to enable the young people to read, to think, to comprehend? With the technology, we depend on this small screen. Institution number 5 is a museum, which teaches us history. All these are fundamental institutions in the country. We have to protect and invest in it. Number 6 is the research study centers. How much in our organization percentage of our budget is spent on research studies? Very rarely. Very rarely. We do something ad hoc or emotional, especially if we are intellectual. Intellectual institution, think tank. Do we invest in this? In the West, they think. When they think, they produce ideas. When they produce ideas, they produce direction and strategy. Then we implement. I tell you something, since some of you are fundraisers. No donation, no funding coming to you without culture, value, philosophy, and belief of the donor. You want my money? Do what I want you to do. Otherwise, this is when you look at funding agencies from United Nations, from European Union, or from the big organization. You want my money? Yes, this is the condition. Apply the condition to your proposal. Nothing is for free because they have the time to think and we don't have the time to think. The last institution is very difficult, and I want the professors in this room to think about it with me, which is the institution of freedom. Please. How can we make freedom as an institution? Nobody should invest in it to keep society flourishing, growing, vibrant, advancing. Without freedom, no matter how much money you have, money does not make you develop. Money can make you somebody who is wearing nice clothes, nice cars, but no brain. Brain is created by thinking, by freedom. Look at how much the freedom give us a space to think, a space to become pioneers, a space to make a change, a space to build society, a space of advancement. So these are the 6 or 7 or 8 institutions that we have to invest in young people. I'm not here today to talk about how good I am, because I'm not good. I always fail. And failure is the first step of success. Sometimes I succeed from the first time, but not all the time. How can I succeed after failure? Alhamdulillah. This is my introduction, my question to you young people. What's my time now? 500. If you want, or shall I leave my personal experience to the question and answer session? Or you want me to start it? We started from nothing. I keep saying it wherever I go and whenever I go. We're starting from no idea. Don't tell me that we sat down in a boardroom and we strategize our direction. No, whoever tells you that, tell them you are wrong. I am saying what I have done, what we have done in 1983, 1984. Nothing we have. But when we visited Sudan at the end of 1983, even you know that when we visited Sudan at the time, I did not have the money for the ticket to go to Sudan. And they went to the Central Mosque, Islamic Culture Center in London, to get donation from the Imam. He gave me 300 pounds to buy the ticket. At that time, there was a famine in Ethiopia, in Eritrea and Tigray. And the media was focusing on the non-Muslim, the Christian. When I went to Sudan, one of the brothers told me, no, they are Muslims and non-Muslims. Eritrea was the land of the first Asia. Where's Brother Gravas? What's his name? What is he? Your assistant. Again, Harris, his son, is hiding, man. No, that's okay. There was talking to me about the many times of Hijrah. And Eritrea was the first land of Hijrah, the Ethiopia. He gave me the photographs. Very simple stuff. Very extremely simple. They didn't have money to get the ticket to go to Sudan. Somebody told me, no, the Muslims are Muslims, and the fund, all the mosques are raising the fund given to non-Muslim organizations at that time. I came back with these photographs of transit in Cairo, met my family. The young boy gave me 20 pence, one of my nephews. Okay, then I went back to London, not to London, to Birmingham. One of my colleagues agreed to be with me. He was doing a PhD in chemistry. I was doing it in medicine. So not doctor. He said, yes, I'm with you. We opened the bank account. We call it a very long, stupid name. Very long, 7, 8 words, you can imagine. The committee of helping Muslim refugees in Africa. Yeah. to open the bank account. We were walking door to door, street to street, shop to shop. My wife was typing. You know the typewriter? If you are not from the people of typewriter, still have typewriter here? My wife was typing at home. Huh? Type. Yeah. We used to distribute appear in papers like this. No design. No design, I'm saying it. No office. No desk. Our only office in 1984 actually was a small donation box on the wall of one of the community centers. That's it. This is the start. This is the start. Now, after 40 years, or the first big donation came to us in August 1984, was 1,000 pounds. And we made big takbir. At that time, I was married. Yes, I was married. I think so. 84, I was married. I married. I left my wife in December 83. She came in October. I left her, and she was very, very composed, very nice, very strong. She came as a lonely young woman. I left her for about 2 weeks to go to Sudan and Cairo and come back with the idea. So I married my wife. When was that? I invited you. She refused to come. She said she's busy with her family, attending another wedding. Is that right? She didn't invite me. I could have come with my wife. Anyway, I left her and I went to Sudan for 2.5 weeks and came back with the idea. This is how we started. Don't complicate things. Don't make it difficult for you. Because the process took us 40 years to be where we are nowadays. Our vision started to formalize by the mid-90s, when we said that we are going to join UN. And we did join UN. In March 1993 was a fight. You know, a fight was a fight because they refused to register us after giving them everything. And when I discovered this, we started the discussion on Monday of the last Monday in March 1993. And on this Friday, I was talking to one of the ambassadors, was supposed to be voting. So there is ambassador said, we're going to put you on roster status. I shouted, you know, my voice, in the middle of a huge show for ambassadors. Not only that, I went to the stage without permission. Without permission. And they got the microphone and they started to speak without permission. Because this is my right. I gave you everything. You interviewed me. I answered all the questions. So what is the decision? You did not want publicly to send the decision. Then they put us on roster status. And come after 2 years. Said, no. Tell me now. This is what happened. Not because UN is UN. You don't stand for your right. Know how to get your right. Then one of the ambassadors was Irish, not the 3 Arabs who were there, unfortunately. Who, not the Sudanese was supporting us, but the other 3 Arabs backstabbed me. Some of them said, oh, yeah. Your name is Islamic. I said, what? So what do you want me to do? Yes. Come later. With what? Someone told me I'm working with Shia or Sunni. And it was Hezbollah, or it was Hezbollah. I said, what are you talking about? And they were actually pushing me away. The Irish ambassador stood up to defend us. Said, we have listened to the representative of Islamic Relief. They give us all the reports we need. all the documents we need, and even they donated to UNHCR in Bosnia 300 metric tons of wheat flour. I endorsed them. So he changed the decision. Actually, the unmentioned decision. And I gave the chance to my colleague, because one of them was opposing Islamic Leaf to become a member of ECOSOC. Gave my colleague the chance to read the documents and come Monday morning to make a decision about Islamic. So one of the European countries endorsed us. Monday morning, the Sudanese came and they told them, I just trying to use my finger like this, warning him of stopping the Nile coming to Sudan if you don't get me a vote. He gave me Jum'ah khutbah, you know, why Islamic Leaf, why Islamic Leaf, why Islamic Leaf. So one African delegation and one European. So we voted. But don't think that because you are at UN, everything is nice, everything is cozy. If you don't stop for instance for your right, nobody will give you a right.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum and good morning, everyone. My name is Aina. I'm from Bali, and I would love to ask a question to Dr. Hani. So my question is, Dr. Hani, can you share a personal story about a project or initiative that has had a significant impact on you?
Well, I feel like let us fight. Oh, fight. 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 He's scared. Shoot going. Thank you. I think there's a lot of stories. Bosnia is one. It was a very painful but very successful story of Bosnia. Yes. And Afghanistan was another one, because it was very difficult for us, since we were the only humanitarian organization reporting what's happening in Afghanistan in 2002, because the rest of the British organization left Afghanistan and we stayed. And you know who was reporting to the upper and lower house in London? The House of Commons and the House of Lords. One of the young people was in the secondary school in the late 80s. He was a country representative. Now he's the director at FCO, Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Istanbul and Ankara. He came and eloquently reporting back to the upper house and to the lower house, to the young man. And here is the story. A young man from the back street of Birmingham was the one who are addressing 600 or 700 or 800 people in the room in a televised interview about the situation in Afghanistan. At that year, when everybody was sinking down, we were rising. And Prince Charles, now the king, he came to our office in London. He gave us £5,000 donation, the equivalent to what he gave to British Red Cross. Because we took the risk and we did not leave Afghanistan. We took the risk, we did not leave Bosnia. And we stood impartial in trying not to become emotional, because it was a clear ethnic cleansing, clear destruction of the family concept by getting young women multiply raped, systematically raped. Before Viagra came out, they used to give those individual tablets every day to rape the same woman 5, 6, or 7 times. And used to put them in concentration camps for 5, 6 months till they become pregnant and they cannot have abortion. but we succeeded controlling our emotion for Bosnia, and we succeeded of standing and reporting to the House of Commons and the House of Lords in 2002, and we succeeded to keep our impartiality for Chechnya. You can imagine, in Chechnya, the Muslims were fighting the Russian, and the Russian gave us the permission to work in this area. You have to be impartial, clear, visible, and don't cross the lines. 2003, we managed to go to the two Sudan, the north and the south. And we knew that Sudan is not going to be only divided to north and south, because one of the regional leader of the south told me it's now going to be 5 or 6 Sudans. This was 2003. But we managed to keep our neutrality and impartiality to deal with the government in the north and the government in Juba in the south, and open the offices here and make the cross-border actually operation between the north and south. This is the success story of people who started from nothing, knowing nothing, no knowledge, but we learned it by failing and succeeding and trying. Young people made the history. Young people like you make the history, and young people will make the clear future. And you're still 25.
Yes, I'm 25.
That she's very interested.
Okay, thank you so much. Next question. Raj.
Assalamu alaikum, doctor. I will start as happy today. My question is, how do you personally navigate the approach, having established churches in the West, and I think from my observation, it's very just, facing strict accusations. So I just had read about you're good, about your excuse, and and so all those policy on the organizations. How do you actually navigate through that? Because sometimes from my experience, it's how to shake your belief as you start to question whether you do the right thing and whether you should take that risk yourself to you forward in pursuing what reason that.
All right, thank you.
What's your name?
Come here.
Amira is the princess.
Yes.
I'm Mr. King. All right. This was a debate in 1994-95 between us and the French office of Islamic trade. At that time, there was a lot of confrontation between the Muslims in Paris and the security. And they wanted us to change our name. The French and the Belgium and the Holland, the Dutch, said, no, let us build a very strong, capable, able organization, professional, and let the West deal with an Islamic professional organization. It took us years to invest in the internal structure. When I did the mistake of overspending the money in 1995 and 1994, we built a very strong accounting and finance departments. Then we built other things. Now, by doing all this, we forced others to work with us. In Gaza now, World Food Program give us about 50 to 60% of their items distributed in Gaza, or more than that. So not only that, others. In Afghanistan, I think UNDP gave us about $25 million. This recently. In spite of what you are talking about, let them to speak, but let you work, develop, research, create policy. I was on a board member of the Gulf organization, and I was talking about policies. And one of the chairman of this Gulf organization told me, we have all the policies. What are you talking about? He insulted me in front of everybody. I swallowed it. The chairman came and apologized, and the CEO came and apologized. And he told me, Dr. Banna, I said, what? He said, what? What? Bad pay. said, give me the policies of Islamic youth. I rang Nasruddin. This was about 5 years ago or 6 years ago. Said, Nasser, said, what do you want? Said, give me the policies of Islamic youth. Said, which policy? I said, these are policies. You know what policy? They don't know what policy. Then he put them on fire. You know how many policies? 100 policies. How many? I said it to the people in this organization. Said, this is the policies. What? 100? What 100? What, 1 or 2? Said, you ask us for policies. This organization with 100 policies. And every year there's new problem happening. We have to create a policy to deal with it. Creating all these policies, putting on your table, creating young leadership, creating succession planning, creating connection. Because one of my proverbs is, connection is protection. Hashtag it. Hashtag it.
Hashtag it.
Yeah. I tag hash it.
Okay.
I tag hash, you hashtag. He doesn't know my language. Okay. Where's she coming from?
Side.
She hashtag, I tag hash. Tag hash, hashtag. Alright?
And
It's supposed to be laughing. I was just joking. Silly jokes.
Okay. Dad jokes.
Huh?
Dad jokes.
What?
Dad. Father jokes.
Father jokes, not mother jokes.
No, I did.
Mother does not make a joke.
No.
Why?
You're very serious.
That is very waste of time. Thank you for coming.
Dad's joke seriously. Yeah. Sometimes people take dad's joke seriously.
I see.
Always serious.
So she tag asked me. All right. So, brother, from the 95 up till now, policies after policies after policies after policies to shut people's mouths. Tell them, do whatever you want to do. I'm going. We are going and we know the game now. You know now, Sister Amira, it's a time when it's very dark, gloomy, dangerous, chaotic. It's a time to lead.
Man.
You got me? It's a time to produce new policies, new philosophy, new culture, new ideology. When you have been attacked and tarnished by this, tell them, ومن أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله وعمل صالحا وقال and said, إننا من المسلمين. Nothing better than the one وعمل صالح أحسن قولا ممن دعا was called for Allah and عمل صالح, and then he declared his leadership on the basis and foundation of Islam. And this is the time that Sister Amira and you say, we are the leaders. Don't be losing your confidence in becoming a leader. We tried many systems. We tried many policies. We tried many cultures. We tried many strategies, and we failed. And what's happening now in Palestine is absolute failure of the international humanitarian system, international moral system. And you have to create a system where it's dark, brother, and gloomy. You have to have the torch in your hand or the candle in your hand when it's dark, absolutely dark. And tell them, follow me. Tell them what? Follow me. Tell them what? Follow me. Because you are the leader of today and the leader of tomorrow. Don't lose your confidence. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We have a few other questions from online. There's one that's already been answered. The same question as Moaz asked. Now I feel nervous because he's been banging the restroom right beside me. Okay, so the first question is from the online participants. How can we identify who is our successor, the next in line for our position?
That's what you mean.
Once more.
Well, you have to train everybody around you. I give you 3 stories. One of them was Khalid, who was actually speaking to Tom Mahathir 20 years ago, 22 years ago. The second one was another office manager, which I sent him for 3 months or 6 months to Sudan for starting a job of office manager.
So they just went
I sent him
to set it with the
to know what is the organization is about. Organization is not about headquarters. It's not about boardrooms. It's about the field of work. So Zaid went to Sudan. Then he became the CEO of Islamic Leaf Canada.
yeah.
Zaid Roni, at the age of the mid-20s. Okay. Olga and others, I took them with me to South Lebanon.
So it's hard.
At the time of war, 2006. And they left them to tour the South. And all of a sudden, they found the Israeli tanks in front of them. They were shocked. They came and screamed at my face. Why? Why? I said, okay, what's happened? Nothing. I said, fine, thank you. Good experience? Yes, fine, thank you. Come back. I said, this Olga and their colleagues. Give them the chance to grow and make mistakes, but don't tarnish them when they make mistakes. And the one who will stand solid after that will be the one like Wasim, or like Harun, or like Nasser, or like Salah Said. All of them came at the late 20s and became the CEO. I don't pick and choose my daughter or my son or my relative or my friend. No. These people, put them in the spot, train them, and give them your experience. Sometimes, like Khalid was with me in South Sudan, and we were in the House of Commons of South Sudan, at the Juba. And while everybody was talking, what the MPs and others, and then Khalid said, what? There's a microphone. What? What to say? I said, now people are want to listen to you. He was talking about his Sudanese teacher, liked to drink tea, dark tea, with a lot of sugar, nothing. But he was on the spot to the next time. If he's going to Sudan, he has to know what is in Sudan to talk to the Sudanese. I took him with me to the big dollars in Qatar. I told him, listen, like this. Said, what? Listen, said, what? Third time, listen, I said, what? What?
I don't know.
They are not going to look at you because you are my office manager. You know what he told me? They will be speaking to me later on. In few visits, he was the one who doing all the talks, and I was the one who doing all the listening. With this kind of confidence, when they got it, they pay the succeeding individual. Now he is one of the directors at UN Watch. When you give them this kind of space and testing their ability at the difficult time, they will, because all of them are talented like you. All of them are like you, talented, but they need to take the chance. Give them the chance. And this is where we create the succession planning. Sometimes we do it at that time it was ad hoc. Now it should not be ad hoc. It should be organized, institutionalized. Thank you, Sister Abira.
Thank you. One more very important question I think Dr. Albana should address is, the question is, failure is so hard for me. How did you go through so persistently, even with all the failures that you mentioned during your talk, with all the failures of driving school and medical school?
And proposing.
Yes.
As well. If you get used to it, live with it. That's it. First failure is difficult. Second failure is easier. Third failure is a joke. Fourth failure is success. That's it. Simple. The shock comes for the first failure because you cannot expect it. We were applying for a fund for the South and Sudan, but when our funding proposal was refused, I was in tears. because I wanted to bring the two communities together, the Muslims and non-Muslims. And the donor, which was European, did not want to give us the fund in this area because they have a different political plan. They give us a fund in a different area because I applied for the two sides of the coin. One in the Muslim related area in South Sudan, second one in South Sudan itself. We failed to get it, but this is for political reasons. But we got the other one. But they still went back to South Sudan and chartered a plane 2003 to go around Juba, Wow, and Malakal, and to make the impression that astaghfirullah to say it, the president and his team are visiting the south by a chartered plane. This put us just only $20,000-$30,000 the plane was, the hiring of it. And the money came, the recognition came. When we went there, people met us. So we failed in one thing, finished. Yeah. You play football, you play in the league, you lose against Liverpool as a Manchester United fan.
Yes, I'm in Manchester City.
City or United?
United.
You lost 3-0. And even Mo Salah was not playing.
The only reason I am a United fan is because of my brother.
Not your sister, not your mother.
No, because he's a fan, so I'm a fan.
Yeah, but we're meeting you.
Yeah, you did.
Like you do. And when you look at it, we failed. Khalas, finished. So what? Learn as a leader to have a thick skin. When I discussed this issue with my one of my daughters, told me, Daddy, I don't have a thick skin like you. You are sick and having a thick skin. You good?
I'm like that as well. I can have a thick skin.
You don't have a thick skin. Who can make you one?
Alhamdulillah, subhanallah, great. Such a great sharing from Dr. Alban. Are there last questions from the floor before we end the session? Any? So personally, as a community leader myself, I gained a lot of experience from the sharing that you gave, especially in terms of values, and also the fact that when it comes to experience, nothing can go. Experience is most important compared to what's in the classroom and the theory side. If you put someone somewhere and they can survive, then they have this list of characteristics and list of values that they hold on to, and they will use it in the future leadership and all. So that's something that I also went through that during my university years. This one sister came and left us at the mosque to handle this huge group of teenagers. And she said, sorry, I have a meeting. So we just had to go, well, in Malaysia we say, redah je, just go on with the flow. And we were shaking, but after that experience, I understand when Dr. Hani explained that we gain this experience and we gain this confidence within us to do something and be brave about it.